Hey everyone, I just thought that a video was way better than just typing up some words, so here goes. All I can think about right now is that God is real, totally real, and I cannot even believe, I can't even believe it. I'm just completely speechless. So, as you know, I moved to Colorado in January of last year. Well, it's almost been a year since I moved. That's so crazy to me. So after I moved to Colorado, I went to Hawaii for 3 months for a work trade. There just did like working on a farm basically for free room and board and free food. And in turn, I just get to stay there, and I just worked. So that happened, and then I went back to Colorado and I found a job eventually. And I worked there for I worked there for a couple months, and just working there, and it was going really well, but there was some problems with where I was living. It was really hard for me to get connected with anyone, and I just felt really isolated there, and I didn't feel like I was going anywhere. I didn't feel like I had any opportunities. I just felt like I couldn't get connected. I didn't know anyone. I couldn't make any friends with anyone, and it was just a struggle. And even like my relationship with God was really rough because I felt like I was speaking to a wall most of the time, and I just wasn't having it. I wasn't happy at all. Very far from that. And so then one of my friends who grew up with my boyfriend in Alaska told my boyfriend, who was living in Colorado too at the time, told him that he found some roommates looking for a room, and Levi was already like had the same issues that I did, except he just was like okay with up and leaving his job because he did not like he knew that it wasn't supposed to, he knew that it wasn't what he was supposed to do. So he made the decision that he was going to move, but I still was like I don't really have a reason to. I don't know anyone there. I don't have any family out there. I have a job that's going pretty well. Then his same friend found a room for me, a little apartment that I could rent out of for a lot cheaper than what I could have found in Colorado anywhere. So it was a really good opportunity for me, financially, it's everything. And just to be out on my own and independent, and I've always wanted to be out on my own and learn from that. So I decided to move too, and it was a crazy decision. Just like my decision, I decided to move from New Hampshire to Colorado, and that was because I felt God like telling me to move. And the same kind of scenario happened with this as well, where I just felt like God telling me to move. And so I moved, I'm here, and I couldn't even believe it was possible because, well, financial reasons, and it was crazy because I was like, I literally don't have that much money, and how am I gonna move across the country again with not that much money, not a guaranteed job, to an apartment that I haven't even seen, in a place that I have never been in my life, and I'm just gonna pick up and leave? Like, that's ridiculous. That's like the most craziest thing. But I knew God was calling me here, so I left. And I was looking for jobs beforehand a little bit, but I had no guaranteed job. So what happened is I started applying to places the first week I was here, and the first 2 weeks-ish, because I was getting settled in. And I got a job as a waitress at a restaurant, and then the next day I had an interview at a coffee shop with the owner. And I mean, the interview went really well. The next minute I know, the person interviewing me, he says that he offers me the managing position because the current manager that was working there just put their 2 weeks in that day that I went in to interview with the owner. If that is not enough, I have more to say, but like, that was just crazy. It was the exact kind of job that I was looking for. Such a huge opportunity for me to learn how to run a business, how to manage, just an amazing experience being able to do that at 19. And it was totally random, totally rare, and it could have never ever happened if I didn't know, if I didn't like turn my life around to follow Jesus. It could not have happened, no way. So I got that job within 2 weeks or less of moving here to Illinois. So that's crazy. Then I eventually quit my waitressing job because I was just working crazy hours. So now I'm still working at this job, and I love it. I love it so much, and I never would have imagined I would be a manager at a cafe in Illinois. But I love every second. I love my life that God's blessed me with, and I've only been blessed by it because I decided to follow him. I decided to listen to his voice. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying that like God is real. Another thing is like I was trying to get connected into a church when I was in Colorado, and it was so incredibly hard for me. And I felt like I've always loved singing and music, and I've always wanted to be a part of a good, strong worship team and a good church, and I just haven't ever had that opportunity before. And I come here and I start going to church, and there's one that I really, really like, and the worship is like, oh, I love it. And so I went up to the worship leader one day, and I was a little intimidated, and I didn't want to ask him at first, but I decided to. And I asked him, like, I want to be on his worship team, like, what do I have to do? And literally we just had like a little jam sesh tonight, and he offered me an intern position to become a worship leader someday, and to like be on the worship team, and it just so amazing. Like, completely blows my mind like how good God has been to me. I'm speechless. Like, I would have never had planned this for myself. My plan would have been very different, but I wouldn't have been happy at all. All I can say is that God's plan is bigger than, and so much better than what you could ever imagine for yourself. It's so much bigger, and the things of this world are so temporary. And knowing that, like, who are we to plan our own lives when we know that life is short, and we have a God who knows us. He knows every single part about us, and he knows what is good for us, and he knows the desires of our hearts, and he knows if we are faithful, he will bless us. And my eyes are being so open to this. When I was in Colorado, I was in a very, very dry season with my relationship with God. I was just like, honestly, like, I feel like I'm talking to a wall whenever I try to pray, even though I'm trying to read my Bible and I'm trying to like get something out of it, and it's so hard for me to. And I tried to read it every day, and I felt so stale, and I felt like I wasn't being fed from other people because I wasn't a part of a church, and I wasn't involved, and I was so isolated. And the only reason why I'm so happy today and every day is because God provided, and I had a choice to either trust in that or completely like dismiss it and follow my own plans. And I don't even know what to say. Like, I am so grateful that I decided to follow God's plan for me, even though I had no idea, even though it sounded completely crazy. Like, I had trusted in him, and I was like, God, like, if you're real, I'm gonna follow it. I'm gonna follow you with completely blind faith, and I have no idea what's gonna happen. I don't know how I'm gonna make it through this, but I'm going to, because I know you're by my side. And I did. And I want to share this with you because I want you to know, if you have doubts, like, he is real and he will provide. As humans, we always have a choice to follow him or turn away. And if you're a believer, just know, just be encouraged by this, that God will always provide, even if you're in a dry state, even if you feel alone. Like, you're not alone. There are tons of people out there who feel the exact same way as you. And if you're not a believer, know that God is real and he loves you and he wants to take care of you and he wants what's best for you, and he knows your heart. So I just wanted to share that because I was just like in awe, complete awe of how, of every single day, there's always something happening that's like, oh my gosh, like, just completely speechless. Like, I've prayed for it and it happened. Like I've been praying for this one person and for their eyes to be opened, and it's not because of me that it happened, but it's because of Jesus, that he opened their eyes, and that their heart was melted, and their eyes were open to see the truth. It's not because of me, but I was praying, and it's just like, just amazing. If you need proof, like, you don't even need proof. Follow Jesus blindly. Like, that's where it's at, guys. And I just felt like I had to share that. I hope you have a great day, and